Well, good morning. Today I'm going to do a little video that I believe I'm going to call a few words I thought I'd never say, and it's going to be a reveal. And here's the words. I have some true plowboy loads in my possession. Words I thought I'd never say. I think I should explain that. A few years ago, I kept hearing about a character who had what was called the plowboy loads. Now, for those that aren't in the know, the plowboy load is essentially a 45 Colt loaded with 40 grains of triple F behind a 255 grain bullet. And for those of us that's in the know, that has a credible history dating clear back to 1873, and definitely talked about by the time that Elmer Keith come around. So I started out wondering who in the heck this plowboy ghost was, and how in the heck did he get the credit for that load. And even myself created a load called the 72-150 Muckle Express, which is essentially a custom brass case loaded like any straight wall cartridge would be, with 680 to 900 grain bullets, and called it that. What I call it is kind of making fun of that. But I have a true plowboy load. When I say true plowboy load, he to help cut some. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start out by pulling out Grizz Getter here. Now, Grizz Getter, in case you guys don't know, is 454 Casull. It's the revolver that I ended up buying because the revolver in question that I'm about to reveal is one I was truly after at the time, but circumstances kind of changed my direction, and I'll elaborate in a minute more. But what we have here is the introduction to my new tool. So we got, see if I can get that to where you can actually see it. I'm going the wrong way for you to see it. There she be. Now, Grizz Getter is 454 Casull, 6.5 inch barrel on a Magnum Research, one of the first Magnum Research products. Matter of fact, it has a DR, I'm going to make sure I'm saying that right, it has a DM prefix. And of course, what I'm about to introduce to you is what I call Grizz Getter meets Kodiak's Nightmare. Kodiak's Nightmare is a BR designated Magnum Research Bisley grip in 500 JRH. And the plowboy loads in question, as long as I don't pull my groin, is right there. Now, I got a repackage from Plowboy that included several factory loads as well to test. He's already tested them. I do not see this as necessarily a project. This is going to be a fun gun because the heavy work was already done by Plowboy. His journey is well documented on his channel, and that's the Plowboy's Ghost. And if you want to see his journey with it, and ultimately him separating and deciding to separate from it, it's not my story really to tell. I've asked him directly why he chose to separate from this one, but I think he documents it well enough to understand. So I strongly suggest you go there and see his part of this. Now, for me, we've already seen the numbers. He's done, like I said, documented pretty well in one of his most recent videos on the JRH. Is giving us some numbers of his hand loads, so I already got those numbers. I don't have anywhere to really improve on it. If I was going to improve anything on that, is I would create, I don't know, another equal 1 to 200 100 rounds of what I would call somewhere in between the 500 special loads, which run somewhere around 950 to 1050 depending on who you ask and whatnot. But I would like to see some rounds between the 10 or 1000 to 1150 just for plinking. Nothing ever bad about having something that's run light load to get used to the feel of your revolver when you need it to be important later. But there she be. See if I can give you a close-up of this one. And if you follow his channel, you've seen it before. He did, I believe this was, I know it was completely white to begin with, but I believe he used a combination using pea beans and something else to kind of give it that aging look. I may change grips, but because I do kind of like darker colors with stainless, but that's personal. And but I'm going to shoot this first as it stands before I decide what I'm going to do about a grip. There's a big part of me that wants to go dark colored laminated wood, and there's some choices out there but they're a little bit fancier than I think maybe is necessary, so it might take a little while. And I'm thinking black and dark red combo, but this is now officially the Kodiak's Nightmare. When you hear me referring to that, you're hearing me refer to the 500 JRH. Grizz Getter is not going anywhere. She's currently still my everyday carry for what I do, and until I make I don't know, I make a move, a location change, this might become an everyday carry too, but for where I'm at, Grizz Getter is more than ample. But this one's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully you look forward to seeing it too. And if we're lucky, I'm actually going to talk about how I control or mitigate recoil. A lot of people have done videos on it, and I haven't come across anybody that talks about my particular method, but I am looking forward to that. So anyway, if you came here wearing your feelings on your sleeves, looking to get butt hurt, well, you may have come to the right place.